This episode is presented by DoorDash. Use promo code TryPod when you download the app for 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more.
Ramble.
Thank you to BetterHelp, Best Fiends, DoorDash, and Casetify for sponsoring today's episode of the TryPod.
Shall we?
Shall we?
Go for it, man.
Okay.
Well, here we are, everyone.
Welcome to the TryPod to all of our normal listeners and no new people whatsoever.
No new people curious. But this is our podcast. We talk about things and we hang out. Sometimes we play synthesizer, and that's pretty controversial.
People do not care for the synthesizer.
That's the level of controversy we were used to.
Yeah.
You know, before we dive in, and we will talk about it all, I do want to address the elephant in the room, and I do have a bone to pick with you, Miles, as our producer, because we've titled a lot of episodes scandal-centric.
I was waiting for this. We are not scandal-proof. Most of our titles of the podcast episodes are like, what really happened, and like addressing the controversy.
Big mistake.
Keith's apology. Like,
Right.
they're not prepared for sort of a bombshell to be dropped in real life.
Oopsie doopsie.
Yeah, so that's an oopsie on my part.
Yeah, well, we're here now. We have been trending.
For a while.
We've been trending.
We've been trending.
Okay, look, if you're here, you know what's been going on. We've released our statement video, so we're not going to rehash that. But this video, this episode, this pod is going to be kind of our emotional reaction. What the fuck has this been like?
Mostly like what we, I guess, emotionally went through and like things like that. Not as much the other side of it, just what our side of the experience of the last month. Because for us, it was September.
The whole month.
It would like the whole month, basically like the third or fourth of the month is when it began, and it hasn't
stopped.
Concluded, but it's been a month.
I lost 10 pounds.
You
No,
what?
you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I gained
You
a
gained?
lot of weight.
Wait,
I
why
just-
did,
I
why
didn't
did you
really
lose weight.
Sarah was like, "You look skinny," and I went to the I was at the doctor for like something else, and I was like, "Oh my god,
10 pounds is a lot.
I know. I guess I am stressed out."
Whoa, man.
No, it's
You
not.
okay?
It's like not like I actually don't feel stressed out that much day to day. But then I was like, oh, I think I have been stressed out. It was like a good reminder. I was like, oh yeah.
If you ever thought that stress does not manifest physically, let me tell you, my back hurts.
Yeah.
My BMs have been wild.
Oh yeah.
The stress poops have been
It's
out of
an
control.
experience.
Have not been sleeping.
Yeah.
And part of that is because there's just been so much to do. So we'll take you back, I guess. Let's just start at the beginning. We found out over Labor Day weekend, and it was a week of relentless work. I mean, it's been a month of relentless work, but especially that first week, we knew before the world knew. And this is something we took very seriously. We knew that it required a swift action, legal action, figuring out what we as co-owners could do, what was within our realm. So that was a lot of lawyer calls and then finding an HR representative. Like, what even is a review internally? What does that even look like?
Yeah, and while that happened, I was on tour doing shows. So Zach and I are basically on the phone about and Eugene as well, about every, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours. Basically, every time I stop at a gas station, I just disappear for 20 minutes. And
you didn't tell your
no, I didn't
cohorts.
tell anybody. I had the opposite difficult thing was I just couldn't talk to anybody about it. So I'm just like, eating like all of this chaos and just storing it in my body and then going and doing comedy shows and then talking to fans who are like, how are the guys? And I'm like, they're good. They're doing good. Everything's cool with us. And I think the thing that was hard for me to deal with was that I knew these were the last times I got to perform for a crowd that didn't have a besmirched image of the thing that they probably know me best from.
Sure.
So that was like hard and sad because each show that I did on that tour, I was like, okay, well, that's one more down. And then at the end of this tour, I know that that's it. And I'm about to go on tour. I'm actually, as you're listening to this, I'm on tour again, just for a couple shows. And I'm
sure it'll be a little different.
It'll be different. And I get it. And it's just going to be hard. And it's this new experience of, being face to face with our fans, and I'm sure some people are going to want to be like consoling. Some people are going to have other interrogative questions.
So that first week, we found out the information over the course of a few weeks, but really that first week where we said, okay, we think this thing has happened that's bad. Oh, this thing definitely happened. And so each day we were getting new details and reacting accordingly. And so if you look at our phone logs, no conversation lasted less than 30 minutes. And most were an hour, hour and a half, because we just had to we process this almost like a trauma. Like it was just so really rocked our world, but also the ramifications were so clear. And so I don't think that I really ever stopped to emotionally process it. And even still, I don't know that I have, because it was just, okay, we have to act. We have to go. This thing happened. How do we react accordingly? I understood the severity of the allegations against Ned. But also just the laundry list of steps ahead. And then because of the way that it just happenstance, I was alone in the office.
Basically, Zach was forced to be the captain of the ship and did an excellent job. And we've told you that. You did a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
It was very hard.
I was not alone. I mean, obviously, I
No.
had Nick and Rachel, and I
Right.
had you guys with me, but lots of lawyer calls.
Yeah, a lot of lawyer calls and stuff like that, and questions and figuring out. And even like just, we just learned a lot about how difficult it is to navigate things like this, like at all, let alone properly. But it's really challenging, and there's a lot of people to consider, and there's a lot of legal issues you have to consider.
And knowing that if we, sorry to interrupt,
No,
that
yeah.
if we had any missteps whatsoever, we would be putting ourselves at risk in any which way, right? We didn't want to leave ourselves open for lawsuits if we were unjustly removing him or whatever, what have
yeah.
you, right? Like, we just needed to make sure that we were doing things right, not saying the wrong thing, not doing something too early, making sure that we had really gone through this internal review before we took permanent action. Like, there's a right way and there's a rushed way, and we wanted to make sure we were doing it the right way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'd say in terms of emotional processing, my recommendations to you, Zach, is what I did, which is on your drive home, you just listen to Olivia Rodrigo. And because like it's a breakup album, you're like, oh, it's kind of like a breakup. And it was very helpful. And then I also just like listened to other like music that I've always emotionally connected with, whether that be like a Radiohead song or something other song, which I think allows me to access my sad emotions easier. And then I just did it on my car ride home. So if you ever pulled up next to me and I looked very sad, I was just listening to Olivia Rodrigo and Radiohead and processing some things.
Betrayed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, right?
And
But it's
I
just
know
like,
that you'll never feel so.
I think it is important to emotionally like release whatever those are. Sometimes I'm sure we've all had angry emotions and frustrated emotions and sad emotions and confused emotions, and all of those kind of need to be let out. Because I had all of them bottled up for a week because I was on tour for a whole like 9 days or something that was occurring. So it was, every so often I was like, I just have to go outside in the parking lot of this hotel and get away from everybody else for a minute.
Or you do what I did, which is oscillate between venting on the phone and then disassociating via the Miami Boys Choir, my favorite little Jewy posse of beautiful singers down in Miami. If you haven't checked it out on TikTok, it's all the rage.
Yeah, Zach just showed it to me. It's very fun.
It's cool as hell.
So we came up with our immediate, intermediate, and long-term plan. And I think in crisis, my brain really benefits from, like, look, we're falling, we're floundering. And so if you feel like you can grab onto anything, it gives you this semblance of control. And that was really like my North Star during this, is just coming up with action plans and executing them.
Oh,
Sorry, it's time to be real. That's
the notification
This is so
sound.
inappropriate, but it is time to be real.
Well,
That's the notification sound. I've never heard the notification
It's
sound.
beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
okay, well, I'll do it. I don't want to be
I'll be real. I
ousted
guess.
as a phony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be real, and it's been hard being real in all of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, actually, thank God for Be Real, because, and I didn't get a notification yet, so I don't know what's going on.
The app is so buggy. I'm pressing the button and it's not letting
Well,
me
it's
be
the whole
real.
idea is like let's attack our servers all at once from the entire user base within 2 minutes. I'm like, well, that's dumb. But Be Real was because I only have like 18, 25, and they're all friends or people I actually know on there. It was the only place I could post this whole month. It was the only place that I could have my social media like expressing and feel safe doing so, because I couldn't tweet, I couldn't Instagram, I couldn't live the social media life, especially this last week when everything like broke.
Yeah, I've been real.
I still didn't get the notification. Oh, there it goes. It came in.
To get away from Be Real, I'm curious what your mental state is in that time, like in the first moments of this, because obviously this is like information that you received that is shocking in a lot of ways and implies a lot of other things and has led to this,
It was deep shock, and we went through every stage of grief,
over and over and over. I think the stages of grief, I think they're a circle. Because I would get to the end of it and then I'd be back at the beginning and I'm like, oh no, oh no, we're here again. I think, it was shock. It was sadness that it happened, but it was also sadness for people involved. It was fear of our immediate futures and even potentially further futures, both as people and in career thing. And the thing is, like, I'd say like 3 days before we found out, we were doing this awesome video, like we were doing all these other things, and I fully had the thought to myself, like, wow, I don't think things could possibly be going much better.
Yeah.
Like, I think everything is really awesome right now. I'm so happy and fulfilled with everything that I'm able to do. I was in this like really grateful period of time, and then it all just came crashing to the ground.
This is days after our TV show premiered.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just had a TV show premiere. We just did this really
Not
cool
even a
video.
week later.
We worked with Broadway.
You were on Broadway.
I was on Broadway.
That's crazy.
Spoilers. And like, I was like, I'm about to go on the longest tour Lou Burger I've ever done. We were bringing Brian Wool on as a stand-up, who's been a friend of mine since I was 18 years old, and I've been able to perform with him. And I was so excited to be able to help his like performing career just by bringing him on tour with us. I was just so excited about all the things going on, and it really made me sad.
We had finally gotten our workflow to a place where like it was so ideal. We were all working like really well within the system we built, but then also working on projects that fulfilled us outside of the Try Guys, and we had figured out that balance, and it just got like just decimated this last month. I haven't had time to work out and shower, let alone work on my personal projects.
All the way to the side. Just as far, I haven't exercised. I've been eating very poorly, and I've been like, I don't care.
I'll get back to the first 48 hours, but also during all of this, my dishwasher broke.
Oh,
Things that are part of my house. But listen, like literally, like let's say we found out September 5th, like September 6th, my dishwasher breaks. And it has been broken for an entire month.
You were coming over so often, you should have just brought all your dishes in a bin and used our dishwasher as if it was a laundromat.
Just throw them in?
Yeah, just toss them in.
And then we got ants. Of course we did.
Yeah, we got flies. We had these hilariously big flies in our house. But the good thing about it is they're so big, they're slow as fuck, and you just feel like a ninja. I'm just swiping them out of the air.
The bigger they are, the slower they are?
Yeah, they're older. They're older and nearly dead anyway. So I'm talking, these are like horse flies, like huge flies. And you can just whip them out of the air. And I got really good at whipping them out of the air. And then the other day I had a moth in the house, and I went to whip it out of the air, and I whipped it, and it exploded.
Wow.
And I felt kind of bad because after I hit it, a single wing floated to the ground like in a movie. Like it was just like it fluttered to the ground. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Who have I become? It was those. We've been hunting flies. No ants though.
Yeah.
So to be clear, however this went down, we would have taken the same action. But the fact that it was something that was caught by fans, that was, a transgression that was enacted publicly, added a level of complication to this where we knew there was this stick of dynamite with an uncertain fuse. We knew that at any moment this could and would come out. So again, no matter what, we would have taken the same action. Maybe we would have done it more privately. I'm not sure. But, you know, in addition to having all the stressors of how do we do this right, it was the stressors of when is this going to break? It's coming. It's coming any moment. And so every day we are refreshing Twitter, certain key phrases and Reddit, and it was out there from the beginning. There were fans who were tweeting about it somewhat obscurely, and I think they did the right thing of they first alerted the significant others of those who were affected, and I think gave them that respect of, hey, I'm going to let you handle this first. But we knew it was coming. The photos and videos were out there. We had seen them. That means that they were going to come. And I guess we can maybe jump ahead to the viral moment.
Hey, I know what you're about to say. Keith, are you going to talk to me about Best Fiends again? You betcha, baby. You know I love it. And look, you shouldn't put off fun until you deserve it. Fun should be around you all the time, and I use it all the time, especially when traveling. I'm about to go on tour again. I'm on tour right now. I'm always touring, and it's a great game to have. It's super fun. It's a puzzle game. There's goofy little characters. They become bigger, stronger characters over time, and you kill slugs, that's something I think we can all get behind. It's a free to download mobile puzzle game with thousands of exciting levels for new adventures and challenges every time you play. There's dozens of unique fiends to collect, so you can customize your team of fiends to defeat menacing slugs. With offline play, you'll never be stranded without fun, even if you lose your internet connection, and brand new events and challenges pop up all year round, like all the time. I'm not even kidding. There's constantly new stuff that gives you like free plays, free like in-game rewards, stuff like that, new characters. It's all dope. You've earned your fun time. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. It's great. I like it. You will too. Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Obviously, we're going through some tough times and therapy has been super helpful. It's just so nice to have a neutral sounding board, that can help you think through things or even just listen to you. It's super helpful. They can give you solutions to some of your problems, or at least approaches to help solve your problems. As time has gone on, we've all grown to realize that therapy is not something that's only for people currently dealing with a problem, but sometimes it's great to help you be prepared for when problems do arise. So if you're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. You can get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey and switch therapists anytime. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/TryPod today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com, betterhelp.com/TryPod. Yeah, so we were in Palm Springs. We had gone down to do like a YouTube conference. So Zach and I were down there, and we just like extended our stay into the weekend. Our partners came down.
At this point, we had already removed Ned from the company officially.
That had already happened.
We were kind of meeting up with all these YouTubers, and again, they're like, "How are the guys?" And we're like,
"They're good,
good."
And that weekend, I
lied right to Matt Pat's face. I looked him in the eyes, and I said nothing.
Everything's fine.
I looked at Hank Green. And
it was mostly lies by omission. It wasn't like he's great. He just can't be here. But we stayed the weekend, and it was actually a really nice weekend. Chris Reinecker and Jared Popkin, and we were all just hanging out. It was really hot, so we were in the pool.
Calm before the storm.
And then on Sunday, we woke up and we sort of saw on Reddit that some more people were talking about it. We're like, okay,
it's happening.
Let's go see Don't Worry, Darling. And we did. And it was a movie. He was right. And then we at that night saw like, oh, there's more people talking on Reddit. Okay. Well, we should be prepared. And we reached out to our PR people and our legal people like, hey, we think that it's whatever is about to happen in whatever expression is about to happen is going to happen this week. And
we had been planning at this point to release a statement late. We were trying to figure out what day is right. We were looking at the content that we had promised.
And we had made an announcement that we were going down to one video a week in October to gear up for November, December, which is not untrue, but it was also because we had some videos that we couldn't release. Yeah. And so we and it is true. We were having to go down to that amount to gear up and save the videos we had and the videos that we could edit him out of and could reshoot or could do for November, December. And so we're down to one video a week. So we'd made some odd messaging, and people and we had edited and out of videos. So people didn't notice that at first, but then as things came out on Reddit, the internet started sleuthing. And let me tell you, I think that more detectives should be reaching out to teenagers.
Oh my God.
They're good at it. And they are good at doing side-by-sides and like finding like a single frame that has a sleeve in it.
Right.
And
it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. So Monday, we see that it's getting bigger. At that point, we try to alert parties involved that we think it's about to get really big and they should be prepared for that. And
our timeline is now
and we're making a statement because we have to. We know that something's going to happen. And then Tuesday morning, I mean, it is huge news.
We knew that this would be big to our fans and people who had watched us in the past, but I had no idea it would be this.
The New York Times, NPR, Rolling Stone, I mean, these are publications that are huge and we never thought would be concerned with us. And now certainly some of them are, who are these guys and why does everyone care articles. But it showed that we had a really big effect on a lot of people.
As we're talking, my family just sent me another Rolling Stone article that came out an hour ago.
But I feel like we are Bill Nye the Science Guy to some people.
But dumber.
But just in that sort of like who we look up to and think about as a great role model because they made content we watched as kids that helped us grow. And that attaches us to them in a different way than an Adam Levine or another celebrity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the silver lining in this weird phrase, but it was realizing the impact that our content and then even that BuzzFeed generation that we were a part of had on so many people and had touched part of their lives. I'll say I wish we had found out a different way. Not my favorite way to have found that out.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it was like, oh, wow, this fucking matters to people because there was a part of their life where this really, really, really mattered to them. And I think that's why it was so much bigger than we expected because this wasn't just about our fans now. It was about everyone who had ever watched us, which is a lot of people.
Added on to by everybody who loves juicy drama.
It's such good gossip.
People love gossip.
And especially how it came out. Again, we thought that this news was going to be Ned is leaving the group and there would be some speculation. But by the time that we got to the story, people had pieced together this really delicious gossip drama. And that's a narrative that people can't resist.
And maybe if you can speak also to you're outlining some sort of timeline here, but I think it's important for people to know how much red tape is in making any sort of decision once something like this is discovered and why this took so long from you finding out to what you're able to do about it.
How do I talk about the red tape without crossing the red tape?
Yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah.
Basically, look, anytime you say something publicly that puts someone else in a bad light, it is towing the line of defamation. Defamation is a suable offense. So you have to really have things in line to legally be able to say some things. And even then, also, you're not just doing things out of fear of legal action. You're doing things out of fear of public backlash to other parties involved. So you're really trying, I don't want people who are hurt to become more hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to do something wrong and get sued and further jeopardize the company and people's jobs. Because it's not even it's not just Zach and Keith getting sued. It would be the company getting sued. And then the company doesn't have money. And then all the people who work here don't have money. And so it's there's this big domino effect of making a mistake. So you really have to not make a mistake.
Something that was uniquely frustrating is that once we told the staff that Ned was stepping away, we made this announcement and that we were going to be editing him out of videos. They put the pieces together of what was happening. They're very intelligent. But we, from a legal perspective, were not allowed to tell them outright, hey, XYZ happened, here's what we're doing and why. Because once we say that to our company, to our staff, it is now public information that can be shared into the world. And also, we were not allowed to say that Ned was no longer working with us until we had officially concluded the
review.
The review. So at that point, we said Ned is stepping away for personal reasons. We're going to be editing him out of our content. And then there's all of these very direct questions.
Yeah.
And we just have to say, we cannot speak to that at this time.
Right.
Winky face, winky face. And, our staff, I think that Miles, you tell me. I think we made it very clear where we were and that we were not trying to sweep things under the rug, because that is, I think, what most people's minds will go to. But there were things that we couldn't say, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah, it was clear immediately what was going on, just because, obviously the internet was able to put it together in a matter of days.
Right.
We all had this information of something weird is happening at work. We're being asked to edit Ned out of videos. He's not appearing in certain things. So we're sort of putting that together just before everyone else did.
And before Reddit had fully put it together, there were breadcrumbs on the internet, and you guys found them all.
Oh my gosh, immediately. Yeah, because there was, again, this incident where the fans and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was
stuff was put on the internet. And once stuff goes on the internet, even if you take it off the internet, someone else will put it back on the internet. That's just the internet.
Right.
So the fact that anything had ever been posted at any point meant it could be found again.
And this is as of Labor Day weekend. That stuff is out there.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and I would say from somebody who works here, it was clear that something weird was going on, but we also were aware that you could not speak candidly to what that was because of all of this red tape. And you were working towards a place where you could then tell us exactly what was going on.
Yeah. Not fun.
Not fun. A crazy time to be at work. A very weird time at work, and it's just weird for everybody. I do think that people were wondering about the morale around the office.
Sure.
Morale was, I think, pretty surprisingly good. It was very weird. Lots of change, very weird. But I think it was we all were able to, we had a staff meeting, and then all the employees left that staff meeting, came into the podcast studio, and then we're all like, wow, this is weird. What's going on? And I think that because we all had each other, and again, I've said this as much, but I just am excited for what we have to come so we can get into a less newsworthy several months.
I can't
Or if
wait
it is newsworthy, it's
good.
It's because Zach made a short film that got accepted into some festivals, or Keith is putting up an off-Broadway show, and people are, and it's sold out. Things
both
positive
things we're working on.
Both things we're working on, and I think it in some ways this gives us an opportunity to shift our content into things that more directly lines with these outside projects we've been doing. Because maybe those can be inside projects, and maybe we should, meld all of these dreams and goals together and help each other achieve them.
We want to talk about the future. I also want to talk about drama as a thing, because what I've learned is that drama works. We've had more eyeballs on us now than ever. It's kind of wild. I mean, even though we're not releasing videos, or we hadn't been releasing videos, our views on the back end, people were watching us. And so I go, oh, that's why people make this their career. That's why they lean hard into drama. And what I've also learned is I want no fucking part in it.
Yeah.
We have prided ourselves for the last 8 years on being undramatic boys. And I cannot wait to go back there. This whole fucking circus is not interesting to me, and is not what I ever want to be defined as a creative person.
Yeah. Part of this that made this week hard is that I always can get a little anxious going to a crowded place. But this made it I went to the grocery store, and I was so anxious because I didn't want to talk to anybody. And I even though I'm sure people weren't actually looking at me, I felt like people were looking at me, and it was like a negative light that I was in, or at least felt that I was in. And it just made it much harder, and that made me unhappy because I didn't want that to be the type of anxiety I had, which was people either feeling sympathetic toward me or wanting to ask questions about it because they wanted insight into the drama. But it wasn't very fun.
And then it was everything that I said or did, I knew would be appearing on Reddit. So I said something on our Discord, and it was there was a post about it, and then there was a TikTok about that post. And I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah,
the whole
everything
thing
was like
sucks.
hyper. Eyes were so hawk-eyed on us. I mean, I got texts from TMZ. You got an email from Rolling Stone. And like people were reaching out to us very aggressively to get a comment, and then and then when we wouldn't, other former BuzzFeed people were commenting on things, and those people got approached for comment because they just needed someone to talk. They were like, anybody who will talk about this, we will let you talk about this because the Try Guys aren't saying anything.
I'm glad that this experience gave former BuzzFeed employees the opportunity to vent their BuzzFeed trauma. That's what this moment's all about.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they had their moment. During all this, I had to go to 2 weddings.
Wow.
And I had to go to one just days ago. This is after the news is broken, before we released our statement. But it's one of Maggie's best friends. So I go, she can't not go. And then I'm like, well, if I send you alone, you're going to be fucking bombarded. So like, we got to go together. I just got to do this. And so for the most part, we're able to stick together and it's fine. But there were, cousins of the bride who were not people I knew, but they knew me. And so I'm at the bar and this girl's like, you're Zach from the Try Guys, right? And I'm like, yeah, hey, nice to meet you. She's like, this is crazy. I've been ingesting this news like freaking like Skittles. And I'm like, uh-huh. And she's like, did you see that one where someone said this, and this? I'm like, uh-huh.
Yeah, we've seen it.
But she was like telling me details about this as if I didn't know. And I was like, uh-huh.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I also, let me tell you, my entire TikTok feed is about me.
Yeah.
Every single TikTok.
Especially last week it was.
It's either that or the Miami Boys Choir. So I'm like oscillating between drama and then these little angelic fucking Jew boys who I love. To open TikTok for an escape, and then you just get sucked into this rabbit hole of investigative reporting of people putting the pieces together. And now I'm watching it as if I don't know everything. And I'm refreshing TikTok for like new information. But of course there's new information because I haven't said anything yet.
There's no new information.
And then now, of course, there's new TikToks, and it's just people kind of misinterpreting our video, which is like, oh, okay, whatever.
Okay.
Really quickly, we want to talk about the other people involved in this. We're not talking about Ned here, but there were other people involved with and affected by this scenario.
In the internet, especially amid drama, that no matter what you do wrong, it's really hard to say that this is an appropriate punishment. It's like, imagine if everyone listening could think of the time they fucked up. Imagine that time you fucked up, because everybody's fucked up before. And you were number 1 trending on Twitter, and the New York Times was mentioning you and showing pictures of you. Like, that's really hard.
And we're not talking about Ned right now. We're talking about the other people.
Yeah.
Involved.
And that is really hard to have that much. And then you have to think of like how many people are reaching out to you, but then how many people are reaching out to your family, or the people that they know you, and now you don't know who's not talking about you. That's really traumatic and scary. That's really intense. And I don't think anyone can really imagine what that's like until it happens to them. And I hope it never happens to anyone. It's just like really, really scary. Like to get, I'm sure that their DMs are full of crazy messages, and it can make you feel really like no one in the world likes you anloor. And that can be hard.
I know for a fact that people have received death threats because of this. I know that people, their past has been dredged up, and they've... Look, a bad thing happened, and we reacted accordingly and did what we had to do. Actions have repercussions, but...
It would be a lot for the strongest person to handle.
Thank you.
Yeah. It would just be a lot. And so that's, something we are keeping in mind all this time. And we have been keeping in mind this whole process is to try to not, like, we didn't want it to blow up this big because of how traumatic it blowing up is to the people involved. And like, it's just like, just imagine it was you. and your mistake was on that big of a blast with that many people making TikToks about it, that many people making funny meme tweets about it. Like, really hard. Really, really hard. Mm-hmm. So we are very sympathetic to those individuals because it's a strong reaction to have to handle, and I'm sure it'll take a lot of time to be able to move past it.
And we're navigating our feelings. There's an extent to which we can't fully express our sadness, our anger, our anything that we are feeling. We have to have certain measured responses, and that's hard too. And then I also can't just tweet, had some dope noodles today. It's just whatever,
Kind of a fire tweet, though.
Yeah, pretty fire tweet.
Yeah.
Look, I know that for us, this was a trauma of sorts, and for you, the fans, this has been deeply shocking and sad. You feel like there was a level of trust that you had with us as your favorite hashtag non-toxic boys, as your, people have called us their comfort channel, that now you have all these questions of, was it always a lie? Can I even go back and watch the old videos? What, it feels like a death, not in that dramatic of a sense, but of a loss of something that you loved and you thought you knew, and now it is potentially forever tainted. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I think that you are valid and okay to feel sad about this, even though these are not people that you knew in real life. I know that the word parasocial has been thrown around a lot, and then some people have tried to make you feel bad for having that parasocial attachment to begin with. You're allowed to care about the content you watch, and you're allowed to care about us. If we've had an impact on your life, and the videos that we've made have had an impact on your life, that's awesome. And that means a lot to us. And I don't want this moment to change how you feel or make you look back and go, that wasn't real, or I should feel dumb forever investing emotionally in the first place.
Right. You can remember the good times.
Yeah.
And you can go back and watch videos that make you happy when you're ready. I think we'll all be able to get to that point. It's kind of like it is like a relationship breakup. At first it's really hard, and everything you look at is really hard, but as time passes, you'll be able to, have some sort of resolution, and you can go back and watch stuff that maybe right now is uncomfortable to watch, but maybe it used to be your favorite video, and maybe someday it can, bring you joy again. I think that's totally possible and probable, because time is something that is very helpful. Just take it one day at a time, like we have. It's sad right now to not be able to maybe go back and watch a video that I watch this video all the time because this video is my friends and I have inside jokes about it, and we laugh about it all the time.
Slap.
Yeah, it's funny. It's great. And there's nonsense in it, and I think it will be okay with some time.
Yeah, I mean, take it from us. We've been navigating this for a month, and I'll tell you that one of the first, when I finally stopped to try and process this, I was like, oh my God, 8 years of my legacy is gone. 8 years of content that I am so proud of, I'm now ashamed of, or I hate, or whatever. I had these really visceral thoughts of oh my God, everything I've ever worked towards is just fucking gone. And I don't know that that's true. Maybe it's tainted.
Yeah. We even had that feeling about the types of videos we make.
Sure.
There was a moment where Zach was over at my house, we were filming something. He was like, can we even make this anymore? It felt a little weird to be vlogging a video of us trying something for a month, and it just felt weird to do it because it was something that's so tied to this brand. And we talked about it, and we're still making that video, but it's something we had to get over. It's oh wow, does this mean we can't make this anymore? Does this mean we can't do this anymore? And that's sort of why in our announcement we said we're going to make the best content possible as we head through the end of this year. And then in the new year, we'll look at what the future looks like. Because right now we also have a commitment to our staff and the people we work with to make sure we are putting out content throughout the end of this year.
A lot of it's already shot.
A lot of it's shot.
We're just trying to...
Let's just, do the best we can right now. And then let's assess and figure out if we do not want to make this type of video anymore, what do we want to make instead? And what is still going to give this excitement and familiarity to our fans who come here for a certain type of thing, but also make new things that they can grow and appreciate. And other people can also be oh, that's cool. I want to watch that as well. And, we have a big whiteboard that's actually a blackboard in our office that turns out was a terrible decision because it reflects all the light in the room. It looks like a mirror most of the time. You can't see what
take
you're
a
writing
photo
on.
of anything you've written down.
But we've written things and like, here's things we want to like maybe give one last go. You know, like these are formats we really like, but it feels like it's time to step away from them. Maybe they get one more candid competition. They get one more ranking.
Just one.
I was devastated to hear there's only going to be one more.
I know it's been on the top of everyone's minds.
Yeah.
Like I know that we're jumping all over the place here because this is not as carefully manicured as our statement video, and maybe that's why you're here. But I really feel like I woke up from an 8-year fever dream. Like all at once. Like we 8 years ago made this video, the Try Guys. The four of us weren't even really friends yet. Keith and I were tight, but like we made this video and like it just like whoosh, like took off and we never fucking stopped. And adrenaline took over and we
rode this crazy roller coaster.
The fucking craziest ride. We became the best of friends. We did things that people couldn't even dare to dream to do in a lifetime. We kept riding that adrenaline. We started a company. We went off on our own. We reacted to this and that and the pandemic, and we made great content. We went on tour. We wrote a book. We accomplished all these dreams. And I feel like this whole time I've just been swept up in this wave of momentum. And then, boom, this happens. And I woke up and I was suddenly able to take a step back and look at my life of what really turned out to be nearly a decade of my life and what I had done and what I had built and where I was and why I was doing this. And you know, we entered this thing called the Try Guys because of this desire to have it unlock other dreams we had, but also because it was great fun and people were responding to it. And this is obviously a tremendous shock to the system. It's a shock to our lives. It's a shock to the content we make. It's a shock to our fandom. But it's also an opportunity to take a breath and to go, okay, yeah, that chapter is over. We talked a lot a couple weeks ago about the daringness of creators who end projects, and frankly, we did not have that daringness.
Yeah,
we have just been riding this wave, and it's working. So let's not stop. And now, you know, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to be frank. That era of the Try Guys is over. It's not coming back. The four of us are not making videos together. Something new is coming. I'm not saying that it's going to feel totally different. I'm not saying it's not going to be familiar. We're going to continue to do stuff. You know, the reason that you've loved us up until this point, you're going to continue to love us, but we're also going to grow, and we're going to use this as a moment to grow, and that's really exciting. It's also scary. It is what it is, and here we are.
And I also want to say, because you might be like, why isn't Eugene here?
And to be very candid, I would like this new era to be 100% candid, not just in the competition. Am I right?
Very nice.
Hey, all right.
To be totally open and frank, Eugene does not like doing podcasts. You know, I don't think that's a mystery to y'all. He likes doing it every now and then, but we are going to be rebranding this show either this week or next week. It's the Zach and Keith show, baby. We're going to have Miles and Rainie joining us as well, but that's the future of this podcast. Eugene doesn't love doing it. There's an element to this show that forces you to share certain things about your life that is not for everyone. And that's that.
Yeah.
Okay, look, you're starving, you're hungry, or maybe you can't find your hairbrush. These two problems used to be something with different solutions, but now they have the same solution, and that is DoorDash. Look, you can use DoorDash to get your food to you, you know that, but you can also get last-minute school supplies, impromptu dinner, fresh flowers, or a hairbrush using DoorDash. Along with the restaurants you love, you can get groceries, you can get other essential items delivered with DoorDash, you can get drinks, snacks, hairbrushes, combs, toothbrushes, everything under an hour. With DoorDash, you're not just getting things you love, but you're supporting the community you love too. From the stores and restaurants to the Dashers driving around, every purchase provides a new opportunity for everyone involved, because with DoorDash, there's a neighborhood of good in every order. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code TryPod. That's 25% off up to $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code TryPod. Don't forget, that's code TryPod for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply. Look, we all have phones, smartphones. We all drop them. And I previously had a really bad case. It was peeling apart. It was super bad. And then I got my new case from Casetify. And let me tell you what, it's dope. It has great protection. It's got EcoShock. It's the latest protection technology. It makes the new series of cases for the iPhone 13, 14, everything. It's about 5 times the military standard of protection, which means it's optimized for protection to up to 11.5 feet. I also love that it's stylish. I got this great new one. It's got all these goofy smiley faces. I know Zach has one too. They're really cool cases. They have a huge range of prints and designs, and there's the ability to customize your own case, so that's pretty dope. Their cases are developed from 65% recycled and plant-based material, as well as being partially made from upcycled phone cases through their Casetify program. So get one of the most protective, cool-looking, and environmentally friendly phone cases the internet has to offer. Get 15% off using our code 15TryGuys. That's 15% off at casetify.com with code 15TryGuys, or use our link in the description.
So beyond like the obvious stuff, what are some other things that were like the most upsetting to you or uprooting to you?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, in the first 2 weeks, it was like I was fearful that this had jeopardized everything for us.
Right.
Even like Lou Burger's off-Broadway options. Because I was like, well, if this like kills the brand in this horrible way, like, will that bleed over to this thing that Lou Burger has worked toward for a really, really long time and is finally like taking the financial risk and creative risk on? I'm like, oh, just to make this. And I was like, that's why it was also hard when I was on tour, is I was thinking like, oh man, how much of this is risking like these other guys' opportunities, and they have nothing to do with this. And also like the other people who like appear on our channel, even like who aren't even the staff, but like people who are frequent guests on Eat the Menu even.
Totally.
I was like, I was so worried it was going to hurt other people and their careers or public image or all this other stuff. And that was a lot of extra guilt and fear, I think, that I carried, especially for the first few weeks. Once we were, figuring things out, and I thought doing a really good job of figuring things out, that became less of a fear. But certainly the first 2 weeks, I was like, oh God.
Oh, totally.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Obviously, our biggest fears were just for the company, this thing that we built, the people that we work for. That was our primary concern. But what was also just frustrating is how this decimated everything I've worked on for the last month. I have not done any wedding planning this past month. I've had no time. And I was making real progress on writing and pitching a TV show. I don't know that anything will happen with it, but I won't know now. And it just really fucking sucks to, one, have something totally upend what you cared about. I feel like I'm finally now getting back to a place where, like, me and Maggie sat down the other night and we're like, hey, let's get back to our life. We've been, for this past month, everything I've done has been responding. There's a fire and I need to put it out. I would wake up at 7 a.m., put the kettle on, and immediately open my email and start writing to lawyers for 30 days straight. And there's just like, okay, what's happening today? This changes this changes that. And so there was obviously no time for creative work. yeah, and that just sucked. I was working on something I was really fucking proud of and excited about. I was prepping a short film that I'll film in December. Who knows at this rate? I'm also now uncertain about the finances of that project. Is it even a responsible thing to take on? So there's the big stuff, but then there's the personal stuff, and it really is fucking maddening.
So before we end the episode, I think we wanted to do like some rapid fire misconceptions and final questions.
Lightning round.
Lightning round. So first one, did you coordinate responses with Ned and his team?
No, we shared what our statement was going to be. We did not have insight into what his statement was. I also want to say that we did not coordinate fonts. I believe that he saw ours and copied it.
That is our opinion.
And it is an opinion that I'm not happy about.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I'm like, you got to choose the same font that made it look like we wrote your... Come on, man.
It's my opinion that was on purpose. that was to a optimized result for him. That's my opinion.
God, and that's also been hell. It's just like we've had to speak like freaking lawyers for a month because like things I have to say and gotta say it right and okay, whatever. Just ask the next question.
Did you? So you edited him out of like content that we had shot that hadn't come out. Are you editing him out of other content that we've already released that's on the channel?
So no, there were some speculation. I think it's because of the timeline. People had a hard time knowing, but they're like they edited them out of videos, but those videos were posted 2 weeks ago. So people thought we use the YouTube editor, which is a tool that exists. You can go and edit things out of a YouTube video after the fact. But we didn't do that. What we did was edit things out of the YouTube video before it was published. So things that were going to go online, we said, don't put that online. Put this other video online. You might be like, what video did you put online? Oh, this Complete the Menu video that I shot with Lou Berger about 2 years ago when the Detroit-style Pizza Hut pizza first came out.
That was our break class in case of emergency video for a long time.
Yeah, there was a video that's just done, and we're like, this is fun, but it doesn't I don't think it will perform super well, but it can be an emergency release. So we released our emergency release. So now we have no more emergency releases. That was the one. And so we put that out to give us time to figure out what to do. And yeah, we went and we just edited him out of the videos that we thought were still salvageable videos because of how things were shot. Could they be fixed? And our editing team did an incredible job creating, images that look like no one was removed out of an image where people were wildly removed.
Some of it's pretty fucking impressive.
It was magic. We really saw screen grabs of it. We're like, how? What? Huh? How did you do it? Amazing.
The video that's coming out next, there's a shot of me, Keith, and Kwesi standing in a line. And what if I told you that there was a fourth person in the middle of us who happened to be wearing the same color shirt? And so Devlin was able to seamlessly blend their bodies and collapse the space between them.
It is wild.
It is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
But we are not going...
No.
The core of this question
yeah.
is we are not going to go back and edit him out of videos that already exist.
Right.
He's every Without a Recipe that exists, every Try Guys video, those are untouched and those are there. And if you want to go back and watch them, those will be there for
There's
you.
Only one half exception to that is that there are a few videos that we went back and privatized because we felt they were insensitive to what's going on. And we thought, this doesn't need to be added to the conversation anymore. It just it's in retrospect, I don't like this feeling, and I feel like this puts a target on people even more. So I just let's just take these down for now. Maybe someday they will resurface, but I was like, look, we're just gonna remove a couple of these things. But that I think there were less than 3 videos that we did that with. I think just 2. But I just full clarity, we did do that.
Yeah, and it was something that I went back and forth on. Part of me was like, well, let's leave it up so that we can just funnel, people are going to leave bad comments. Let's give them that place to let that toxicity out. And then part of me went, well, no, let's not give them the space to do that at all. I don't really know. We've talked internally with basically everyone involved to get their thoughts on what is the best solution there. And I don't know that there is a good answer. Oh, can I lightning round here? Yeah. Leave our fucking staff alone.
Yeah.
There's people who are obviously caught up in this because of their association with us, because of their association with the people involved. Bad back the fuck off,
Yeah.
or I'll fight you.
100%. There were like giant YouTubers like going through old photos of people in our company, people that did not have anything to do with this, that are not public personalities. And if you're one of those people, that's
you're a garbage
you're
person.
a scumbag.
You know you are, though. They already know that.
They already know that.
That's sort of what they are.
Oh, actually, I have a question. Was the pillar digitally entered, or was that just in the video?
Which thing?
In the stand-up video, there's I think it's just in the video, but there's a pillar in front of presumably where that is standing, and people are like, the pillar's a CGI. And I was I think that's just a pillar.
I think the pillar's real. I think as you come to LA, you might learn that some of these buildings are old and they get changed, and
I don't know about the
giant
pillar.
support beam is immovable. We have
really
giant
funny.
support beams in the middle of our office
Yeah.
that like you can't move them. they're support beams.
Right.
Like when you turn something into a theater that wasn't a theater, you mean you're turning a thing that wasn't a big open room into a big open room. And there's going to have to be some sort of big beam somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that was just a real beam.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, a nice cinematography trick is to pass by a beam because you can use that as like a wipe
Hide a
edit
cut,
point.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can hide a cut there. So that I
A lot of quote unquote one take movies, they'll actually
pass through
go
a wall.
pass
Yeah.
behind something.
Okay, next rapid fire question. What's going on with You Can Sit With Us?
Right. So You Can Sit With Us features our partners. Ariel is one of the cast members in that show. But at this time, we're going to give her some time to focus on herself, and we'll let you know if that changes.
Is everything on Dumois true?
100%.
Next question.
Yeah. I'm not. I think there's lots of stuff that's been reported us on Dumois that's kind of obviously false, and there's some stuff that like it might be true. I don't know. So the stuff that like people claiming to be from our office,
No.
and
There's
saying
not
that we're
many
like
people that work
forcing
here.
people to sign NDAs, like that didn't happen.
But as far as I know, like their office is so small. It's funny when they're just like, I'm an inside leaker, and I actually work at the office, and it's like they're one of like 10 people that I talk to every day. I feel like I would know.
Not even that many
Not
people
even
are
that
here
many,
every
yeah,
day because most of them
exactly.
work from home.
Exactly.
I even think some of the people who are like claiming to work at the office and defending the office don't work here.
No, they're fans.
I was like,
Yeah, no,
I don't know if you think that like some of our team of professionals write like they're 14. They probably do in their text to their friends, but not when they're submitting something super serious
Yeah, right.
to an anonymous website. I think they probably, use full words and not
No.
just the letter U for the word you. Just a simple thing to probably think through critically.
If final one here is, if this hadn't gone public, was there a world where Ned came back and was a cast member?
No.
No.
And maybe speak to why.
No, what happened, it betrayed our trust. And
It was a workplace violation.
It was a workplace
And that's
violation.
that.
It would mean to all the people in our office who knew what they knew, they would know that we were in the face of everything, like not being true to who we say we are and our values. So like very simply, he would have been removed. It would not have been this public spectacle. We probably would have tried to avoid that for the sake of the other people involved. But it happened how it happened.
I think that's a good segue kind of as we get on the on-ramp to the end of this episode is we going forward and as a brand, look, we obviously we stand for stuff. We're a brand that wants to have impact with the videos we make. We also make some goofy bullshit and make bad food and eat bad food too. But hopefully the reason that you've stuck around for this long is because you feel like you believe in us, you can trust us, and we really want to have a commitment and a recommitment to those values as we look to the future. And so we want that to be expressed via the leadership from Keith, Eugene, and myself into the values that are espoused within our company and from our company. The future is going to be exciting. As we've said, it is going to be hard. We're going to make content that is familiar, and we're going to give ourselves permission to make content that is unfamiliar. I don't know. I think if this didn't happen, there is a world in which the Try Guys cast, how do I want to say this? For the last 2 years, frankly, I've kind of personally gone through this mental process of acceptance, of realizing that where I want to grow and what the Try Guys is are different. And there was a feeling of heartbreak associated with it. There was a long time in which the Try Guys was my creative expression and my feeling of creative expression. And then I started to see that the Try Guys was becoming something else, that the Try Guys was rigid and incapable of change, and that any attempt that I had to push against that wasn't going to work. And so, for better or for worse, we're here now. And what I see in that is an opportunity to have the Try Guys be more fluid and grow with us as we grow. Well, that's another rapid fire question. Are we going to have a new fourth Try Guy? No. We will have new people that come in and out. We obviously already have our buddy Kwesi, who we love, but I don't want to put the pressure on anyone to say, this is the new Try Guy and he is the replacement. That's not fair to them.
We want to get more people in, because I think what is great about the Try Guys and how we grew is that we were people who were seen as sort of normal, average guys who were able to do exceptional things and have that experience. And you, as a person viewing it, could live through that. But now we're actually not normal, average guys, because we have had hundreds of exceptional experiences.
Sure.
So it's hard for us to have that full new experience in every single video. But for other people, like it's a good opportunity to let other people, to let women, to let non-binary people, to let people from different backgrounds, ages, body types have these sorts of experiences. So we can actually, as viewers, gain a different perspective of cool opportunities.
It's going to enrich our content. And the core that I really love of what you said is making stuff that matters. Making stuff that matters to us as creatives and making stuff that matters to you, the audience. We're also going to make funny stuff. We're going to make videos.
I'm still going to eat a whole bunch of garbage once
and
a
that
month.
matters.
And that matters. And it actually does for those people who that is very important to them.
Yep.
So like,
and sometimes like a good laugh is a relief and a piece of content that you need. But more and more, we are going to allow the Try Guys to grow with us, to adapt as we adapt, and to bring in new creative people like Kwesi, like a myriad of people that you know on this channel, and allow them that opportunity to make stuff that's deeply important to them. And that's that. That is the future. It is a story that is yet to be told. We will continue to write it, and we hope that you're along with us on this journey. It's going to be a wild time.
It's going to be wild, but you know, it's exciting. You know, I'm excited about the cool things going on next year. I'm excited for Zach to be able to like do more writing projects, and because I've been able to see from the side the different things you've been working on, and like they're fun and cool, and I think they could live on this channel or live on a platform that this company works toward, you know, whatever that is.
I'm excited. I'm exhausted. I'm ready to go take a nap.
Tired. Yeah. One thing is like how we all looked in that video is tired. Yes, Eugene looked angry, Zach looked sad, and I looked disgusted. But
we're all tired.
But really, the truth of it was, we're all really tired. We're really tired. It's been a lot of mental exhaustion and worry and fear and stuff, and it's just like been really draining. But I will say that our partners have been really awesome and supportive.
They've been fucking rock
The staff
stars.
here has been incredible. Nick and Rachel have been incredible. Our friends,
It was incredible.
you know. So we've had a great circle helping us get through it, and I expect that they will help us, and all of you fans will help us get through it too.
Yeah, well said. And I will just echo again how wonderful and necessary our partners have been. To us, but also to each other. Like, your wife has been a fucking lifeline to me. Eugene's partner, Matt, has been a huge lifeline to me. And Maggie has obviously been a huge lifeline to me. Everyone who works here, it's we could not have done this on our own.
So Miles, you're going to give us advice or what?
Keith,
Is it appropriate?
I think
Inappropriate?
now more than ever,
the
people need
some guidance.
advice and guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And look, as you pull up a song, because you're going to improvise something.
No, people need the classics.
Okay.
Yeah,
classic.
people need the classics.
They need a song
Old, reliable.
that for years an unnamed member would walk out of the room.
The last thing here is that like we're stoked to get back to normal, or new normal. There's no normal, no such thing as normal. But we're excited to stop talking about this. This is kind of it for now. We're ready to. We've given up a month of our lives to this, and obviously,
we're just excited. We have some really great videos we shot. We have some really cool stuff that's going to come out this winter. We're excited for it to just Be a video has nothing to do with this. It's just about the thing we're trying and we're having fun.
Saturday, you've got us auditioning for Broadway. It is a freaking incredible video.
Yeah.
Like maybe one of the best true try videos we've made in the last 2 years since the world got turned upside down. We've got Without a Recipe coming. One way or another, it is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So just get stoked. Good stuff is ahead.
Yeah.
But if you're out in the world and you feel adrift, perhaps someone you thought you knew is a little different. You may be looking for some advice. Dare I say advice that'll go for miles.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune into your radio
Sing
station.
along.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Everyone get ready, Miles Nation. Miles Nation, go!
It's advice. Take a big sip of water, Miles. Get ready.
It's advice that'll go for miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? How's everybody doing today?
Come on now. Give it to me now.
Have you ever wanted to refocus on what's important to you? Have you ever wanted to throw your phone in a little bubble bath?
I love you, Miles.
Okay. Wait, what? A bubble bath? The internet's crazy these days.
You tell
You
him.
telling me your workplace is trending on Twitter? What's that like? And my advice to you is to say that someone's got to go get those roots.
Huh?
What? Go outside and sit next to a big ass tree.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah. I like the vibe of
Dude,
this.
we found a good tree the other day.
that tree was amazing. We honestly didn't appreciate it fully enough. We should have gone over and touched it.
Human brains are not prepared for the information megaphone that is dawning upon your brains as a civilian. And that's why it's all important to go back to America's oldest pastime. And I'm not talking about kissing.
USA.
Sitting by a tree. I'm talking about sitting by a tree and looking at the tree. I'm talking about there's birds in the tree and they're going chirp, chirp.
Chirp, chirp.
And they're going, hello, Steve.
They're going,
And they're
ho-ho.
going, and they're going, whoa. But my advice is to get outside. Leave your phone inside, even if it's a backyard, even if it's walking down your street. But just go for a phoneless little stroll. A small one.
Scary.
Well, how are you going to listen to your podcast?
You can listen to podcasts if you want. But I would say, like, maybe it's not a phoneless. Maybe it's just put your phone in your pocket and fucking
Don't
put the
look
music
at it.
on. Don't look at the
it.
phone.
Don't look at it.
I find that I've been waking up every single day and looking at the news, and I've been looking at TikToks, and I've been looking at Twitters, and it's all fine and fun and dandy and games until all of a sudden, I'm unhappy about it.
You know what'll make you happy? When you're walking outside
Yeah.
and you see a big tree, and especially a tree that has little leaves, because sometimes big trees have little leaves
Yeah.
and they're very cute. Well, when the breeze flows through those little leaves, all the leaves kind of shake. I want you to pretend that tree is waving to you.
Oh, yeah.
He's waving with all his little fingers. He's like, hello, hello. Look at those trees are waving. They're waving to you.
Plants.
And they're also a fun thing about every tree, get up close. There's going to be teeny tiny little bugs on that tree.
Oh.
You can look at them and you can watch them.
Yeah.
Or just watch how far they're going.
A tree is a planet, and it's also a person.
It's
Also,
so cool.
The bottoms of palm trees, I mean, obviously the California problems, but
Those are crazy.
The bottoms of palm trees are like, you're like, oh shit, that's all like roots in there.
Yeah.
Roots in a little sock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Dude, I'm thrilled by this advice
Thanks.
because I don't know that we've ever really talked about how deeply I love trees.
Trees are
That's,
incredible.
a big tree is like calming. It's
looking
very
up,
calming.
laying on the bottom and looking up at the little pieces of sky that
They're
make
just
their way through the
incredible.
whole thing.
Oh man.
I've had many induced revelations related to trees.
Yeah.
And you have this moment where you're staring at a tree and you go, the tree is reaching up to the sun, grasping for life. And aren't we two all? We're born and we're reaching to something unknown and we don't know what it is. Why? We're all trees. And the tree is me and I am the tree and you
That's
are,
right.
we are each other.
We're trees.
That's right.
We're trees.
So get out there and touch a tree, folks.
Touch a tree, sit
Smell
under
it.
a tree,
Put your hand
let
on
an
it.
apple fall.
Maybe
on
give
your
it a little
head.
kiss.
Eat a little piece of fruit and just sit on a tree and just be like, man, there's nothing different between me and someone that lived 1 million years ago.
Big honking tree.
Big honking
They're all
tree.
both sitting by trees.
My neighborhood's got some great trees. Like you'll walk, like that tree's totally different from all the other trees in
Yeah.
the street. This tree's its own tree too. Some people like curate their trees. Some people let their trees grow wild.
In California, I can't even imagine how
fun.
some of these trees are alive.
Me neither.
It fucking
I also, I every day I'm like, how is this tree getting enough water?
yeah, like that's
I'm not
insane.
watering it.
I guess it's tapped into the fucking sewer.
It must. I feel like it is grabbing LA's groundwater supply
Probably,
and drinking
yeah.
it all up. In fact, I know I have a tree growing in my backyard that's fully growing out of a water spout thing, and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
It gives me high concern.
That's tough.
Well, that is it for this week's episode of the TryPod. As we said, we're gonna keep doing normal content. Probably won't comment on this anymore unless we have to.
Yep.
We never know what tomorrow holds.
Ooh.
But,
Until tomorrow.
Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for all you other people coming to learn about the drama. And hopefully you grew to like us as people and want to watch a video of me eating fast food after this. It's up to you. The decision's in your hands.
But if not, enjoy whatever drama you engage in
next.
next. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Well, it's been a whole month long that we've been working on this thing. Yeah, and now we're done with the thing. At least we're done for now. We never know when it'll ever be done. It's the TryPod.
We're not going to say that.
Have a fucking no, never.
Have a fucking good ass week.
Have a good ass week, baby.